Hello and welcome to Truck Talk videos with Beyond the Baltic Sea and Euro Truck Simulator 2. So why do I think this is the most realistic DLC? Well, after the map comes up of where we are and where we're going, I will certainly be sure to tell you. The weather, the rain looks a lot better, of course, since 1.33 came in, I have to admit that. So here we are going over the water to Helsinki, and it's only 160 miles south of the Arctic Circle. Yep, it's the most northerly city, that's what I hear. But you didn't know that when you got out of bed this morning. So what I like about this one, it feels more realistic because it feels like they've picked up Rusmap and done a few tweaks, just like SCS are famous for, and then put it back in the game. Now, most people will say SCS are wrong for doing the tweaks. I agree with them and I disagree with them because on this one, this particular DLC, most of the things you see on Rusmap are back in. There's a few things, like at the checkpoints and the border crossings that should have been incorporated, but that's a different story. What I like about this is they will leave cars, trucks, coaches at the side of the road on Rusmap, and even though it's not as much as in Rusmap, they've still got it on Beyond the Baltic Sea. For instance, there is a coach just as you get off the ferry from Helsinki, turn the corner, you've got the junction where you turn right, and there's a coach there, no registration, bit weird. But it's parked there, it's parked so it might have been there for days. Just like on Rusmap, where you see the wagons just parked on the grass for some reason, but it feels more realistic. There is 37 new companies in this one, from the yacht builders to the locomotive works to, of course, more farms. And we're talking about bringing new industries in here. I know that with steel, they have steel on the flatbeds, but me and my friend from Birmingham actually thought that they'd bring the proper steel transports in, because Josh's father drives for Perry's Steel Transport, and they have the ones, where the cover sort of slides. I don't think that's just for this country, I think it is, for most of Europe. And steel and Russia go together a bit like fish and chips, don't they? I mean, that is probably what Russia is more renowned for than anything, probably apart from its army, of course. But I thought that SCS would have brought these innovations in. Maybe next time they do an expansion to Russia, they might do. But that brings me on to another subject of Rusmap that I love that SCS really needs to incorporate. And what it is on the road to Moscow you'll see truck stops that are made up of gravel, mud and dirt. And even though it's 2018, and I'm sure most Russian Western truck stops are concrete, tarmac, just like most of Europe, we hope that they will bring the old worldly ones into the game, because even over in the UK we still have old ones, where they park on the gravel. And what I mean is you see the brand new Scanias, the brand new Mercedes parked on gravel. It looks good with an old Zil or a Ural, or an Ural should I say, parked there like the 70s, but it still looks good nowadays because it's as if to say we've retained some of the old truck stops, so it feels a lot more realistic, and I hope SCS bring that in on the road to Moscow. They keep that, because it's such a great feature. It's like the road signs here. It's so Rusmap, so pro mods, and I like how that is still incorporated. Because as I say, I had Rusmap just a few weeks ago, and it felt way more realistic than what SCS do. But because they've retained so much of Rusmap and Pro mods in this DLC, it feels more realistic. Italy, to me, was just a little boring. I like how they had an island where you could drive to. I love that, when they get the updated version for the UK out, hopefully next year. they'll do the islands of Scotland, because there is haulage firms on there, and hopefully you'll be able to drive on them islands, and then maybe even the ferry over to Iceland, which would be absolutely fantastic. Love the new skyboxes on this, what they've done. The new physics, I'm a massive fan of the new physics. I know a lot of people aren't, but I do feel like it makes it more realistic, because on your options you can always raise the bar to where the camera moves when you turn in a corner. So I do think it is the way to go. I'm a big fan of it. There was something then that I was going to say about the DLC as well that I forgot just saying that, so that's a shame, but still. It's one of them DLCs that you really want to jump into. As I say, I'm a massive fan of the Scandinavian DLC, that's the best one for me. But this one, with the things you see, the old larder nevers about, the larders, and I haven't seen any of them because I haven't been to Russia yet. But still, can't wait to see them. What I will say is passport control. Now with Russia, hopefully we have time to say this, but I don't think we do because the video is ending now. I'm a big fan of passport control. I like how they will stop you, you know, for maybe 2 minutes. Me and two other chaps were discussing that on the ETS2 forum back in May, but there needs to be a bit more risk there. So anyway, Truck Talk video's out. Ta-da. I will see you in part 2 not too long away. Have a good one. Ta-da.